Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic on Arena Run. Today we are doing midweek magic. It's Historic Pauper. And for Historic Pauper, we're actually going to be doing a very recent favorite for uh, of recent sets. You'll probably see me run up against it and on the edge in a few other formats. We're going to be doing blue-black poison. So we're actually I want to know what are the cards that we're missing here, but most of the key cards are still technically still available. So what are the cards? The key cards are available: Prologue to Phyresis, draw a card, free poison counter, no need to connect. Experimental Augury, pretty much for the Proliferate, but card selection is quite nice. Bring the Ending, pretty much a counter spell if you can get 3 poison counters on your opponent. Infectious Inquiry, way to get our opponent a poison counter, also gets us some cards. And Vraska's Fall, a way to get our opponent a poison counter. So we have 12 cards that guaranteed with guaranteed poison. So that's part of the plan. We have 4 cards, 2 Whisper of the Draw, so 6 cards. 1 Contentious Plan, 7 cards. 7 ways to proliferate. Actually, no, we have 8 ways to proliferate if you count the informant, and we have Light Belly Rat and Pestilent Siphoner's additional toxic / and proliferate. We're just filling it out. So aside from Bring the Ending, we're filling it out with Anoint with Affliction for additional removal. Last cast for a little more removal. I tried running it with Make Disappear, but it's really hard to hold counters up. It's probably you're better off just gunning for removal. And as far as our mana base is concerned, since we can kind of get away on turn 1 and sometimes even 2 turns back-to-back tap lands. So a combination of Theater and Storefront, 4 copies of Dismal Backwater, single Waterfront District. This could easily just be one of the newer lands if you don't mind tapping for just 1 color, because that does allow you to draw cards more cheaply. And otherwise the deck does really well. Sometimes you do get gluts of land, sometimes you run, and sometimes your opponent is a bit too fast, but otherwise we have a shot here. Generally I want to run the theaters first, thin out the deck. Especially if I know the colors that I already have, I just thin out the deck as soon as possible. No poison counter quite yet, but we're most likely gonna just anoint. Well, probably not the dog. We're not anointing doggo. We will do the Prologue to Phyresis though. Now that said, if our opponent turns out to be an Enchantment Aura strategy, which is plausible, could also just be spirits. We'll see what they have. Inspiring Overseer. You have to let that go. So we do have a bring in. So opponent probably just playing straight mono white. Actually, let's turn on the deck list here. Opponent can gain all the life they want. The card draw is more of the problem for us. So we're taking the hit here. See if we can cast Bring the Ending. Most likely we'll be able to. Yep. Bring the Ending. So probably play out the Blight Belly Rat. Force them to play Interaction instead. We'll hold up Experimental Augury or Anoint with Affliction. Thankfully, this hits mana value 3 or less, so Inspiring Overseer is a solid hit. Opponent goes for Mana War. That's so white-blue tempo it is. Can we afford to take the tree, or I think we can afford to take the 3 damage. Also, if our opponent happens to be sandbagging counter spells, we actually kind of need to land now. I would like the Verascas fold a bit, not very strong in a board where. Okay, so. Thin out the deck even more. Play the rat again. See if our opponent has no, not a counter spell. Maybe they have another strat. Momentary blink. No. That said, our opponent is doing blink shenanigans. So it's a good thing we took out their Manowar. They might have something else instead. Cloud can sear, draw a card. So a lot of those nice synergies. Into another Cloud can sear. Okay, so it's going to be blink abuse. I could do Contentious Plan now, but I probably want to play the Guild Pack Informant anyway. So we're gonna hold up the Experimental Augury. As long as you can scare our opponents into thinking we have something, we should really do so. So we can't afford to take all those hits. So we're going to block one. We're blocking this one because if our opponent decides that they do want to blink it, we're not giving them an additional life as well. But man, 3 Cloud Conceers back to back is gonna be on the annoying side of things. Definitely taking Last Gasp. And opponent's not corrupted, though. Yeah, we are a bit on the slow boat here. Opponent having all the interaction they need. And we might as well cash in the Contentious Plan. This is a sorcery speed card after all. So we got ourselves a prologue, but we're more likely to just Last Gasp something. Yeah, opponent really running to town with the card draw. Like for 5 cards plus Traben's Inspector to draw even more, they kind of outpaced us in that one. 6 cards under card draw. Manowar. They're actually bouncing the rat. Well, that makes sense. So we're taking 6 damage here unless we decide to Last Gas something now. We probably do. No, I'll be annoyed. Okay, thankfully they did not have another momentary blink. That would have been annoying if they did. No, just another Spirited Companions. It's the card draw deck. Well, it's kind of solid if you ask me. Unfortunately, we know that they're going to blink the Manowar. Yeah. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is enough. Well, no, because if they blink this doesn't get attacked. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, kind of exactsies. So we are going to mess it up a little bit now. No, they're not. They're not messing around. So I could jump. Yeah, well, let's take 5 damage. I'm willing to trade this. Yeah, not looking very good for not looking very good for the Pauper villains here. Now and also just using it up to draw a card. That's why not. Well, we don't exactly have haste, so that's kind of a moot point. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. They played all 4 of them. And this one's a sad drop, so we can concede this one. we really want to. We do have a bit of an out if we're able to chain a bunch of proliferate and poison spells. But unfortunately, the card draw was not with us there. We're kind of removal reliant here, so that does make it a bit harder to play this deck. That said, I'm willing to give this one a go. It's usually for special events like these that I'm willing to go hard on myself mode. So this one's a much better start for us. We get to Obscura's Storefront. Definitely, probably gonna go for a black source here. We'll depending on what our opponent drops on the ground, land or elves. I don't know what their potential tree drop is, so I'm gonna go Pestilent Siphoner. It's possible they might just have if they have a reach creature, it's just that will be really annoying. Ooh, green white. Could this be toxic also? We'll find out. Hello? Ula. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's one time lang. Sige. Di naman. Okay, sige, okay. Okay, sige, okay. Okay. Vraska's Fall, unfortunately on the sad side here because our opponent has land or elves. Though they are going to be taking time on Evolving Wilds. Yeah, my mom went out on a day trip with her friends. So she's coming back a little bit later, just checking up on us, see how we're doing. Vraska's Fall definitely not looking good here. We can play. We're probably gonna play Blight Belly Rat since and hold up Augury here. This probably is a token style deck if our opponent is really going wide. It does mean we have to be very careful of a large pump spell. Pacifism. Probably does mean we want to have a sacrifice style effect if this is what we're going to be facing up against. We'll take the Anoint with Affliction. Opponent just draws a card. Yeah, taking some initial damage. We do have a last gasp for the Pioneer now, so actually I do want to take. Now we need to last gasp the Pioneer because we are not guaranteed to. Yeah, we're gonna clear the board a bit. It's possible our opponent might just have more creatures. If our opponent has more auras, I'd actually be happier because that means our Vraska's Fall is some solid. Oh, wait. It created a 1/1 vampire. So we need an out to the vampire as well. Ugh. It'll be a while. But we can probably just play Guildpact Informant for the time being. If we can convince our opponent to. But it is actually quite clever. If you combine it with other cards like the Cartouches and stuff, it makes it very hard for a sacrifice effect to get through. Jade Guardian. Ooh, that's another one that's gonna be tough. So definitely want to take out the vampire first before I do Vraska's Fall. Opponent obliged somehow. So we'll Augury first. Definitely want to take the other Vraska's Fall. No, we're in. So our opponent actually goofed up slightly there by going for, by actually offering the vampire for a trade. They probably did. Pilgrim still a problem. This is kind of why I started leaning more towards removal. Though we're gonna need a lot more removal here. Ooh, Ancestral Mask is gonna be really painful. And they have the Llanowar Elves for added protection. So we might not get through this. Yeah, this is yep. We're unlikely to pass that one. Ooh. Our opponent managed to survive on just 4 lands. While we kept drawing even more. I probably would have done better by drawing other stuff instead. It is an argument for cutting down the number of lands. We are already a 22 land deck. I guess I can probably make an argument for cutting 1 more land to, say, add another Last Gasp. Or perhaps a sacrifice effect like Innocent Blood would be a good option as well. Yeah, that's actually a good point, because those are cheaper cards. I could say cut another island, cut, say, the Contentious Plan, add some Innocent Bloods likewise. That is a way out for this one. It would have given in that board state we would have had to sacrifice stuff, but that wouldn't have mattered anyway. Feed the Swarm is also another option as a kill spell. It deals with enchantments as well. Probably not the most ideal one, but we'll be glad for that. Not liking that it's waiting this long. This probably means that we've already disconnected and this is a draw. Yep, it's a draw. Yep, it's a draw. Bugged out connection. That's the case of. That's usually the case. What happens there? I would have thought that I was able to validate the deck a little bit a while ago, not without difficulty, but now it looks like everything is lined up against us. Okay, this is definitely a keep though. It's a shame that our opponent kept 2. So, depending on the board state, we might have to turn to Anoint. Sawblade Scamp. Not really. Free from Flesh. Yeah, we're turned to Anoint. So opponent's gonna hit us a bit, but they did spend 2 cards on this. Oh, we could also just hold up for Whisper, but we're gonna pass first. Oh. Probably could have I'm actually gonna wait to see, because I kind of want to kill this one instead. No, let's just do it now. So I ideally want to wait before I do the Vraska's Faulting. No, before doing Whisper of the Dross. So we'll have to see. Our opponent looks like they're flooding. So let's see. Okay, let's go with Vraska's Fall. Let them sack 1. Yeah, they give up the Tin Street Cadet. We'll take the hit. Kind of stalled out, but so is the opponent. So we'll see. They might just. Actually, we probably should take Festival Crasher. Let's do this now. And this is. Hold on. Opponent could respond by Free from Flesh. Let's see if they have another free from flesh. That would be really brutal. Okay, we're not gonna get the other proliferate, but that's fine. More importantly, they used up their well, it's only +2/+0. It wasn't that bad. I could do experimental augury to get our next land, but I think I would rather just last gasp this now. Since our opponent's kind of in top deck mode, we are gonna be kind of behind. Oh, never mind. I have to do experimental augury here, as much even though it's an instant, because I need the land. It's an ETB tap, but we'll have to make do. The good news is our future counter spells are going to be our future bring the endings are going to be counter spells. I'm assuming these last two cards are just burn spells, so I'm gonna actually just string it out. Probably play the contentious plan. Okay, we're definitely in counter mode now. We could eat. Yeah, we'll just play the Pestilent Siphoner here. If our opponent wants to... Oh, are they really flooded? Nope, burn spell. We're gonna let it pass. Because they're the ones who are under pressure, not us per se. If they want to burn this, it's fine. Lightning Strike. We're going to counter the first one so that we can eat the second one. If our opponent plays a creature, we can Vraska's Fall anyway. So opponent down to 2 cards. Sawblade Scamp, so we'll take a little hit. We can play Siphoner here. Let's see what their last card is. I could have gone for the counter, but I decided to go for the forced sacrifice instead. No, unfortunately, we're in the situation where this is going to be a long... Yeah, we're gonna do... Probably have to be a bit judicious about what cards we let through. Oh, there's another Blight Belly Rat. If that last card's a burn spell, we have to bring the ending to counter it. Yeah, but it looks like our opponent did just run out of gas. It's now their turn to flood. Yep, they definitely flooded. And that is game. So we finally got our first win on camera. We'll probably try to aim for one more win. I hope it doesn't take too long, my goodness. But it does show that the struggle is real. This is not an auto win. At least for Pauper, we are missing some... Like, I would rather run Trummingbird than Guild Informant, but that isn't uncommon. Oh, I did not get this the cards down. So that's fine. At least I got it for free now. Yeah, I would have rather have Trummingbird over Guild Pack Informant. The added cost is not quite worth it. I'm thinking that there are other cards with Proliferate that I would... that just happen to be uncommon but are really nice. Yeah, we're definitely keeping this one. One removal spell is a bit sad. But this does look like the... I'm gonna dump everything on this one creature deck, so let's hope the last... Let's save the last gasp. Homestead Courage. Ooh, okay, good news. It's... Actually, it's a bit risky. I'm gonna go for this now. See if they have... Okay, they did not have the... Actually, I think the cards that give hexproof are... Jewel Thief. Opponent might spend it. Okay, they didn't spend it right away. I kind of wish they did, though. We are not exactly in an enviable position, though. We just used up both our removal spells. Opponent probably has a little bit more in the tank. I might actually just have to go for the card draw here. Second Infectious Inquiry, a little bit scary. It's actually better early than late, I suppose. I suspect our opponent is just some cheap pump stock deck. Ooh, that Whisper of the Dross is a little bit late. So I'm definitely going to play the Siphoner here. We're probably going to go for Block Whisper. Ooh, they're doing the Ram True. Now there is a sequence here. If once we proliferate, we can bring the ending. Depends what they counter anyway. So submit there. But now we're pretty much teching to card draw into some into our own removal. Now that said, this is still a 3/2, so we're taking beats, but we can beat back, sort of. Jewel Thief, not the worst, not the best. So there's a prologue. Yeah, I kind of want to do the 2 cards, even though it's gonna be really painful here. Okay, definitely take the Dismal Backwater. I'm gonna play the other Siphoner to sort of hold up blockers. I could also try to race, but it's not realistic. Our opponent can get us in 2 turns. 5, 6, 7. Hold on. So we go down to 5. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're a bit ways off. That's the problem. If our opponent has a pump effect, it is what it is. Tamio Safekeeping. This is a common after all. Okay. Into another Jewel Thief. So we'd have to do Experimental Augury first. If we can get at least 1 kill spell, like Anoint, we can at least try to not die right away. We'll do Prologue, see if we can hit something off that. Problem is, our opponent might just have another Safekeeping. But we have to do it now before they get the card draw. If they happen to have it, it's kind of over. Yeah, they had it. Again, am I really just playing too many lands? I would argue that they probably should, if there is supposedly the best of one modified effect, they really should stop doing it. That's kind of my. But then again, you do end up with a lot of sort of non-games. That's the argument also. But then I would argue people should just learn to mulligan. There was this actually one discussion where someone is saying, if it's not ranked, why should I just not concede if I get a bad hand? Which is a miserable way to do things, but it's their choice, I suppose. I am willing to keep this though. Watch our opponent have a turn 1 play. Oh, it's slivers. So this one is slivers you control have first strike, so that might be an issue. Given how soft our creatures generally are. So we're going to be taking 1. I think I would rather play the... I'm tempted to play the Blight Belly Rat, but I suspect the next card is going to just be... It's going to just be a way to pump it. So I would rather play the Siphoner first, then play the Rat afterwards. Let's see if our opponent's actually judicious and remembers to play Burn. Usually slivers forgets, but we'll see. Maybe because it's all commons that they actually have space. Instead, they played nothing. Maybe our opponent does have removal. Broken Wing. Ooh, it's the expensive kind. We're not in that much of a hurry to let... Though I suspect let's see what our opponent's next sliver is. This might be the problem sliver. Oh, it's definitely a problem sliver. Take. This is also 4 mana, so our usual Anoint is not gonna get this. I'm gonna play Prologue first, see if we hit anything. Experimental Augury. We probably want to keep the chain going. So we're holding these back to defend. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that we do stall out. Maybe we do cut down the number of ETB tap lands. The one life just might not be enough these days. Answer sliver, even more first strike. The first strike part is kind of annoying, but okay. So we're gonna do the Augury first. See if we hit another Blight Belly Rat. Yeah, we'll take the other Blight Belly Rat, not the. Trying to set up the We're trying to set up for the next one, but we might not even get the next turn after this. Like, after blocks, we're still taking 4, 5, 6. We're still taking 10 damage. Okay, there's an Anoint. That's good news. I could have waited, but after that previous match, I was somewhat concerned. When it did have a strangle. So they did have, well, the two cards did show interactions, so that's something to keep in mind. Ooh, not so good. We are forced to play this, but that's it. We don't have enough blocker. We don't have enough blockers, or the removal spells. Probably we could probably cut out the Contentious Plant for yet another removal spell. This looks like an all creature meta these days, so we have to play accordingly. I still want to get at least one more win, no, even though the struggle is real. It's... Okay, we don't get to go first, so that's a minus. So most likely experimental augury turn 2. Oh wait, opponent did not play anything, so we might get to bring the ending. So we're actually going to wait here because I suspect our opponent's just holding on to absolutely nothing. I have no idea. Were they an all-creature deck that did not want to run up against another all-creature deck? I guess I might have to play for one more win because that was a non-game. That was so weird. Okay, this is again keepable, although again our opponent is going first, so that scares me. Definitely store. I guess there's an argument for like going all the way on these cards. Opponent plays a network disruptor. Okay. Suspicion is that this is a ninja deck. Though kinda hard to tell. It does look mono blue as well. Yeah, this is a ninja deck. So what? So the network disruptor is gonna be, ooh, classic ninja 3 powers. Yeah, we're gonna just pyresis them for now. Would have liked to hit removal, but alas we did not. We could do infectious inquiry to keep it going, but they might end up I'm actually going to play the Pestilence Siphoner to make them play the Network Disruptor. Though they might not even play Network Disruptor. They can swing with Ninja anyway. Bring the Ending might have been the better. Holding up Bring the Ending might have been the better option. I actually made a Ninja deck before. Stern Dismissal. Okay, just blink and go. But they do play it, and they might be missing lands. So next turn we do the Siphoner again. Hold up Ending Augury. I would note that their responses are cheap, so we actually want to be hitting removal, not counters right now. Another disruptor. Have to let it go. We might have to do experimental augury because we are digging for cards. Do they have another one to flash in? If they do, I augury in response. This might eat a counter. No, it doesn't eat a counter. Okay, there's the Anoint that we kind of want. Doesn't exact. So our opponent draws 2 cards. Ouch. Opponent's gonna be getting the network disruptor train going, which is a bit annoying. Let's see if we can hit a land off this. Oh, we do hit a land, and let's see if they have an instant speed response. I'm actually gonna offer to swing here because our opponent's just gonna tap it down with network disruptor anyway. Yeah, that scared them. I'll take that. Let's see. Can I take inventory? Now, opponent might sub this with, say, another ninja, though. Yeah, the bring the endings kind of hit us in the poor timing there. The proper, we would not have, because our opponent's now in draw this. Let's see what they bring in this time. Probably deep hours again. Yeah. Ooh, Moonblade Shinobi. This is the one that copies, right? Illusion tokens. Perfect. That gives us a blocker. And though I suspect our opponent just network disrupts. Though we could counter it. Yeah, let's go for it. We'll counter it instead. That's their third network disruptor. What gives? Well, they did draw quite a few cards. And actually, from the looks of it, it's quite unlikely I'm going to be able to keep up. This one is just going to keep making tokens. So our Vraska's Fall's not going to quite do anything. It is an argument for having a mini board wipe. Yeah, this is not going to do it. Man, we got disrupted really bad there. Ugh. Okay, this next game is gonna be our last. Sadly, we have. I have to do Pokemon Unite a little bit later. Kind of pushing the definition of playable here. It's just me being stubborn here. We'll see if we can land it though. Also, I haven't had dinner yet. An opponent kept. We'll see, but if our opponent's deck is fast, we're doomed. Okay, maybe not that fast. So technically very slow. So we can hold up last gas or bring the ending. I'm probably gonna just cast bring the ending here because I don't want to keep holding up mana forever. Probably just play the Blight Belly Rat here. Put something on board. Now if our point, the one argument for us not, oh, they cycled. So we need to start getting poison counters on our opponent ASAP. Yeah, we're doing it this way so that if ever our opponent drops something big, we can do Prologue to Phyresis into Anointment Affliction. An argument could have been made for double last gas, but we'll see. We'll worry about that when we cross that bridge. Silverback Shaman. I can give up the rat to draw a card. This might also be an instant speed fight effect, in which case we can do the double last gasp. Yeah, this is the kind of deck that we play against very well. Though turn 3 Llanowar Visionary is awfully slow, you would have expected all the mana elves. Actually, I'm going to just I'm going to actually let this connect first, let the damage land, and then try to last gas, because there's a possibility our opponent that has something like Tameo safekeeping. I'm going to be forced to fire off both. Let's see if our opponent has it. No, they didn't have it. So we do give them a card. But next turn, oh, I could have played the Blight Belly Rat, but I kind of want to just do Augury. Oh, there's their elves. Took them long enough. There's an Owlbear, so we do Augury here. Infectious Inquiry, bring the ending. Okay, bring the ending's gonna be is a bit late here, so we're gonna do the Infectious Inquiry plan, since we kind of have, and we can kind of shuffle them back. I'm just gonna play the Blight Belly Rat here because we might need to block something. It's still a source of Proliferate. Just want to be safe. I want to avoid a very big aura all of a sudden. Ram True. Okay, there's our Proliferate. Into a Fierce Witch Stalker. Yeah, we got them. Yeah, opponent had a really slow start. They really should have mulliganed that one for a faster start. We would have been in much more trouble if it was turn 1 mana elf into the Visionary. We would be playing catch up so badly. It's not even funny. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications, and whatnot. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.